our approach to AI is human centric or user centric. So we are looking at like what are the most critical and important problems or barriers our users have in order to serve their customers well, and then work backward from there to use AI to empower them in delivering those value, performing those tasks.
From Aderant, this is Studio A, the podcast that helps legal professionals like you stay on top of trends and solutions that keep your law firm thriving. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Studio A, your podcast for insightful conversations shaping legal tech. I'm your host, Will Ayers. And today we have a very special guest joining us. He is an amazing thought leader in product management who is part of a brilliant team driving AI innovation across legal tech. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Alok Abhishek. I'm Director of Product Management, focusing on data and AI at Aderant. Looking forward to delivering value to our customers and users.
Alok, you're a seasoned product management professional and a thought leader who is doing some incredible work in legal tech. In addition to driving innovation, you have also published some very insightful research exploring the world of AI. You are also part of a team that's building products and solutions that's driving productivity and efficiency for law firms around the world. What led you to working in tech, and why are you so passionate about AI?
Me getting into tech is, I think, like from childhood. I was that kind of a kid who will break things out, put things together. I can't remember how many times I got into trouble for breaking things at home. So I guess like the seed was there to move towards tech and engineering aspects. Getting into AI is very personal. During my undergrad, I was working with a professor on a project where we were developing a kind of like neural network which would read a handwritten page from regional Indian language and convert it into braille. So when I was able to do that, I thought that kind of technology which enables people which has visual impairment to get access to the information they were not able to do, so touch human life in so profound way. So it was very motivating. And so since then, I've been kind of tried to be engaged in AI, learn, work, do things in AI. So, I mean, me getting into AI and innovation, the foundation comes from there.
We're in an era of accelerated innovation when it comes to AI. And I think that's a great example of the way that AI can kind of supercharge capabilities of people just in general. But when it comes to AI, can you tell us how AI can supercharge the capabilities for legal professionals that are trying to get their work done?
Absolutely. So we at Aderant, when we are looking at helping our customers and legal professional leverage UI, the overarching goal is that the law firm is then able to serve their end customer or end client in the most efficient way, the best way they can. So as part of that, like the final outcome for law firm, what we are looking at is helping legal professional make a better informed strategic decision, uncover an actionable insights, perform complex tasks. Because if you look at AI, these are the areas where AI excel at. So overarching, our approach to AI is human centric or user centric. So we are looking at like what are the most critical and important problems or barriers our users have in order to serve their customers well, and then work backward from there to use AI to empower them in delivering those value, performing those tasks.
What does success look like for law firms and legal professionals when they're integrating AI into their business strategy?
I like to think about it as the overall journey of a law firm delivering value to the customer and running a business, right? If we really look at it, what our CPO frame articulates it as a 4 C's. That is compensation, compliance, coordination, and cost, right? So I think like that articulates the value to the legal professional really well. So, at the time, law firms are serving their customer, but at the same time, you're getting paid for the top line of the business is healthy. So helping legal professional make sure the business is healthy, the financial measurement is option. They can perform tasks related to serving the customer, whether it's a business of law or a practice of law, efficiently. They have more data and more strategic decision making capabilities, which AI can serve, right? So at the end of the day, it's a combination of those four C's, basically removing the barriers where they have the information and the data and tools that they need to make decision or perform certain tasks. Is a combination of those things that AI, I think, is unlocking for the legal professionals.
You are listening to law firms and building solutions and technology to really solve those complex challenges. Can you take a deeper dive into the approach that you take when it comes to building technology that's curated for law firms?
Since I've joined Aderant, I'm blown away with how much institutional knowledge, domain knowledge the team has. We have, I think, like some of the best and most knowledgeable people in legal tech industry. Technology is a tools which is kind of like means to an end, right? But what differentiate us is how we can bring that technology and build solutions that is solving real problem. And that comes from years of experience and insight that our team at Aderant has. Now, that goes into the second part of the answer where we start off with like a design thinking approach in terms of customer centricity. Like, what are the biggest problem our customers have? And then how might we solve those problems? So we identify the biggest problem, then think about which of these problems are good candidate for AI. Then we do a data strategy, building the models, applying the solution. And the last is one of the most important aspect, but often overlooked aspect, is measuring and observing how different AI solutions are performing. Because as you know, in across the industry, there's a challenge in building a high quality production ready AI solution. So it's an iterative process where we measure the accuracy and quality of of the solution and then iterate and continuously improve.
We know that data is key in the way that AI applications perform. What are some of the key challenges in collecting and preparing data for those AI applications?
Data is kind of like lifeblood for artificial intelligence. And it's what I like to call it is a flywheel effect here. So you have high quality data, you can build a better machine learning models. Better machine learning models leads to happy customer, more adoption, more uses, that generates more data. So it's kind of like flywheel. At the same time, with the data, which is like most strategic and important asset for our customers, we have to make sure that we have like a very solid data management and governance practices. So what we do is we take a approach of like serious responsible data use in terms of privacy and security and compliance. We do defense and approach of least privilege, zero trust, where customers' data is secure, it's encrypted at rest. We're using technology that makes sure the data is highly available and durable. And at the same time, at every phase of the data, it's totally secure and privacy is paramount. And we kind of like build our model in a responsible and ethical way where we are using synthetic data to build our models. We partner with the customers to kind of like get to a higher quality. Overall, I would say that's a governance framework, and building with a mind of like customers' data is secure and private. At the same time, we can leverage AI to deliver value to the customer.
Now, at Aderant, MADDI is the AI-powered virtual associate that's being applied across the Aderant product suite. It can supercharge routine tasks for legal professionals, but it also provides actionable insights and behavior prompts to optimize complex activities that law firms face every day. But in layman's terms, what does that mean for someone that's in the legal industry, but they're not in product management?
And that goes back to my earlier answer about building AI for human centric or user centric AI solution. So, as our end user or the customers, there are a lot of different types of legal professional. Overall, what I would say is what we are trying to do is remove barriers and for a legal professional to perform at the highest level. What does that removing barriers means? It's about getting the right information, complex information, in an easy and convenient way. So getting certain information that might not have been accessible before or very complicated, or there have been a lot of dependencies in getting the information, it's available all the time, click of a button. At the end of the day, you're getting information to make some strategic decision. So we want to help, aid, provide AI assistance in making certain strategic decisions. And the last one is performing tasks. So there are different type of tasks. Sometimes could be mundane tasks that takes time away from more critical high value tasks you want to perform, or a complex task which are very error prone. So we are looking at helping our users perform those tasks where we minimize error, at the same time free up their bandwidth so they can concentrate on delivering more value to the end client. So I think that depends on a specific task, and activity depends of different personas of the user, but that's our overarching goal, to remove barriers for our users to perform at the highest level.
Can you take a deeper dive into how MADDI is being trained and what we can expect from MADDI over time as it continues to grow?
We invested a lot in building out a modern data platform, which is with all the highest level of security and governance, and availability, reliability, scalability, architecture, and design processes. So that's where the journey of AI start. Is like, do we have a solid data platform and a foundation, a strategic data. From there, what we call it as a like AI life cycle or machine learning operations. From there, we take like the different data, analyze and build the models, do experimentation, and then work with the customers or work on a synthetic data to make sure that it meets their quality and reliability requirement. And then last part is, at the end of the day, when the customers are using, we make sure we are monitoring performance data, so like aggregate level, and then we know what how AI is doing in real world, because testing and development is sometimes very different from real world scenarios where unique situations comes up, and then we use that observability and performance data to then use a reinforcement learning and fine tuning to continuously improve the data. So there's two aspects of it. We are using the data and institutional knowledge to make sure AI is at the highest performance level for a legal industry for our specific use case, and not just we are taking off the self model, generic model, and wrapping it as just like any common use case would be. We make sure that our models start and perform well in legal industry, legal domain for a specific use case. We monitor the uses and performance, and we continuously evolve.
Now, I know that Stridyn is the AI driven cloud platform that's powering the Aderant product suite. And across Aderant's product suite, there are solutions that tackle financial management, time and expense tracking, billing, etc. What role does MADDI play as it pertains to Stridyn?
When we are looking at a Stridyn, we are trying to revolutionize the customer's experience and how they perform their operation, how they run their law firm. If you look at like all the operational and other activity across law firms, it starts with, the life cycle start with getting the client, you performing tasks for the client, you tracking the time, you billing the client, delivering the highest quality result for the client. So our overall goal is that we bring in AI to solve the different problems that the law firms have across this, whether it's financial management or time capture or expense tracking or billing, across this whole life cycle or like end-to-end solution. So that's where we are building a Stridyn and bringing the power of AI across the whole life cycle, enable the leaders at law firm to make a strategic decision that are data driven and AI aided.
Can you discuss the ways that you are ensuring that ethical considerations are being taken into account as you release this technology or provide these solutions to clients?
The responsible and trustworthy AI is the bedrock for anything that we are doing with AI. It has four different aspects. So it starts with security and privacy. Second aspect is reliability and accuracy. Then we move to transparency. And lastly is fairness. I mean, these are not in importance order, but these are the four aspects. So we know how important and how sometimes very confidential our customers' data is. So I talked about in earlier section, but we apply defense in depth. So there's a layered security, whether it's encryption or it's like authentication or authorization, or meeting with like regulations like GDPR, CCPA, so it's all built into the data platform. Last one is like building the trust. So, if AI is saying something, how would our users going to trust that AI is saying right things? So we are enabling references, how AI is arriving at certain decisions or certain information to gradually help our users trust. And lastly, we have a lot of use cases where people are involved, which are, so like as per EU Act, you would say they are a little higher on the risk. So to make sure we don't have certain kind of biases in our models, so no demographic model, so do no harm, making sure we abide by the laws or we exceed the laws and expectation, right? So it's all those four pillars that we have built into AI.
In addition to your great work at Aderant, you are also known for your research as well when it comes to AI and conversations around machine learning and innovation. Can you discuss how you envision the future of AI in terms of its impact on the legal industry? And what are some things that legal professionals should consider as we all go on this journey?
I think legal industry is very rich in data. And when I say data, I mean both unstructured and structured data. So obviously law firms runs and we have a lot of financial data, but at the same time, there's a lot of policy and all those things that are stored in maybe documents somewhere. So legal industry can leverage AI in a lot of ways to deliver a lot of value. Traditionally, when you talk about legal industry, it's not perceived as forefront of innovation, but the data is enabling law and legal industry to really leverage AI. So what I'm most excited about in this area is how can we help law firms adopt AI and kind of deliver more value to the customers, their end clients, and perform at like highly efficient, leveraging all the data and institutional knowledge that law firm have. And at the end of the day, that connects to rule of the law because legal firms help maintaining that. So at the end of the day, it connects dots to people's life because we all want to live in countries and spaces where law is upheld. So it's a small part we are playing to make sure law firm performs the best, the serve their end clients the best. But at the larger picture, it's also kind of comes back to our quality of life.
Well, that brings us to the end of another insightful conversation on Studio A. Alok, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and shedding a light on how AI is supercharging productivity and efficiency for law firms. Your insights on AI, incredible, if I could describe it in one word. It's been very enlightening, and we all are definitely excited about this innovative journey that is taking place in legal tech. It's truly been a pleasure, and you have to stop by the show again.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you about all thing AI.
To our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode. We hope you enjoyed this conversation with Alok. Don't forget to subscribe to Studio A for more episodes featuring industry leaders and innovative solutions designed to help law firms run a better business. We'll see you next time in Studio A.
Thanks for listening to Studio A. For more from this episode, visit Aderant.com. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a beat, and we'll see you next time in Studio A.